Oh, that feels really mean. One of my awesome viewers suggested making Muldrotha, but with all the adventure spells, so here we are using all these adventure spells that I really like the look of. Let's see how effective they are in a Muldrotha build where we can replay the creatures out of the graveyard pretty much until the end of time. One of the nicest things about this deck is I kind of just want to go with the flow and use whatever the deck gives us. It's really not very cutthroat at all, and that's perfectly fine, although this hand is actually pretty sweet. There is certainly a joy in just playing cards of a certain type. I did have to kind of sift through a lot of the adventure spells because they're not all great, but yeah, I'm picking some of my favourites, and you can too when you make this deck. So they're going to have Rankle in the following turn, so we don't want to have too much of a good creature, if that makes any sense. So whenever we cast an adventure spell, instant or sorcery spell, copy it. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. That's an instant. I guess we can make 2 dudes. 2 humans. This is actually a pretty crazy start to the game, because now we also have access to... Well, we can do this in their turn. So we can draw 2, discard 2 twice. We can return an attacker to their deck. There's all manner of things we can do. The owner of target attacking creature you don't control puts on top or bottom of the library. Okay, let's see what they... I guess... Let's just kill it. I don't really want to lose the Hornlock well. The way this works is if you target it with the original, then the copy goes on a stack, but the copy doesn't have a target, the spell will just fizzle, which is really sad. Let's get some more lands here, because we want to start playing Muldrotha eventually. Lovely. So Rankle being 6 mana is quite a good bonus for us, because he doesn't really seem to be doing much else without it, and the fact we have these extra 1/1s is wonderful too. Due to the fact that Rankle wants to sack creatures if we have strong ones, but because we have so many little things, we can kind of get around the sack trigger. Although they have got a bonus that they can keep repeating, so we'll have to be careful. Ghost Lantern. Return top creature from your graveyard to your hand. That's really good once our stuff starts dying. I guess that's an instant, right? So let's draw 2 discard because I want to hit lands and I want to mill. So this was suggested to me by Angsty, who's one of my awesome viewers, who just suggested to me in the Discord making a Sultai Adventures build. Kind of awesome actually, because they all really synergize super well. Mostly because of the fact that a lot of the adventures seem to mill yourself, which is kind of a strangely powerful coincidence. Tempest Heart here. It's basically faithless looting, sorry. Discard 2 cards. So if I discard creature from graveyard to your hand, if I discard these 2 creatures, we can just get them both back with a Ghost Lantern. They're a bit good to discard, to be honest, but... Okay, Merfolk, Secret Keeper. I guess we'll get rid of these 2, because we want to hit our land drops. Play the Temple. Another kill spell is pretty good. And yes, I think we'll leave the Ghost Lantern in the hand. I've just realised, because if they're going to make us discard with Rankle, it's going to be a bit sad. Because it means that we're going to discard one of the creatures we get back. Also, with the Tempest Heart, the Muldrotha casting actually puts a counter on this. Okay, so Rankle. If they make us discard, then they will also have to discard, so it's not the end of the world here. And remember, we have to choose if we want to do this before the triggers all resolve. So we'll see what they choose here. Each player discards a card, so yeah, we'll activate this now. So we get the Hornlock Whale. And the Beanstalk Giant as well. And that's enough to just win the game, getting 2 creatures back. Although we would have lost one anyway. So interesting that they actually quit there, considering they had 4 cards in hand. But I suppose because we have the Muldrotha, we can just keep looping stuff over and over again. Yeah, that's pretty effective. Just for playing kind of rudimentary spells, like get 2 cards back. It's interestingly powerful. Now, this is a tremendously boring hand. It really is. It's almost cripplingly, depressingly boring. However, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. If they play lots of utility creatures, we can wipe them all out. Sadly, this doesn't actually kill Aragorn, but I like stability. Sometimes it's nice to just have some stability. The game living up priority for every time you're safekeeping is kind of annoying, but there you go. Hopefully we get something that mills us soon. And then we can get something out of the graveyard with Muldrotha. That would be nice. But we're definitely most likely going to Beanstalk Giant on our next turn here. Rip apart. Oh, isn't that nice? Let's give that protection. That was very rude, I have to say. When you cast a creature spell, it doesn't... As an adventure, draw a card. That's nice, isn't it? So this is good for setting up the old Beanstalk Giant. Sadly, the language will kill our Edge Lord. Let's go for Muldrotha, I suppose. They could have several ways to kill it or our team, but we shall give it a riskiness. Next turn, we're going to have the Beanstalk Giant as well. Are we just going to have a melee game? Just punching, and kicking. Back Alley Gardeners. Return creature to its owner's hand. Okay, I think we don't want to be greedy. Let's just go for the Beanstalk Giant, draw a card. This is a pretty decent bounce spell. We want to save it for Aragorn. And now we have 2 6/6s, which is really nice. And I'm almost 100% sure they do not have a board wipe, because otherwise they wouldn't have played the Back Alley Gardener. Are they missing a land drop? They actually are. Until they played this, and then the land comes in play. This is a crazily good card, but as I said, the Languish is going to be spectacular. Killing 2 of their pretty decent utility dudes. So I think what we want to do is attack with both of these. If they don't block, they're going to take a hefty amount. Just that one, okay. So sadly, we will lose the Beanstalk Giant here, but we can recast him with a Muldrotha later. Do we actually want to go for Languish then? 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. No, we'll go for the Elvish Mystic. Then we'll bounce something in their turn, I think. This is an ETB trigger, so we could bounce it in response to Aragorn coming down, or whatever they want to do. Or we might even want to bounce our own creature. Who knows? Bloodbraid Elf. Let's bounce this to the hand now. Reduce the blockers, and what is Bloodbraid Elf going to give them? Is that an Uro? So this gained 3, so 15. That is slightly annoying, but this is a cool build though. I do like it. It's a creatures build, something you don't see very often. Okay, let's play the big guy. They probably assumed we were going to do that anyway. Draw 2, discard 2. Okay, so attack, attack. So that's 13, 14, 15 actually. Oh no, but then they'll just block. Yeah, they'll just block the smaller guys. So no, that's not a very good. Down to 9. Treasure. We could use Broken Bond on that, but I think I'd rather save it for something else. Okay, Moment of Truth. If they have a board wipe, we're just absolutely behind. They haven't quit, so is it going to be a big wipe here? Kind of wishing I had this 10-year safekeeping now. We could have rebuilt our whole army by saving Muldrotha. But alas, it is in the bin. Domri comes out to play. I didn't expect that, to be honest.
Where do you see my mates?
Surprising that they haven't had a single trigger from Aragorn. That is very shocking, really. And we might actually find ourselves discarding the Broken Bond and the Languish at this point. 6-5. Wow. Yes, because he gives them a power boost of +1. However, if they just spend the turn fighting one of our guys, not only will they lose the Aragorn, but they won't have enough blockers for what's about to come. But I doubt they do anyway, to be honest. Yeah, I really actually like the Aragorn build. I would have loved to have seen that list. It's a pretty cool build. Normally people build Aragorn as like loads of big spells, control-y spells, but this was legitimately a fun creature style build that I would actually use. Couldn't really ask for much more in a hand. We have the kill spells we require and also the Cobra, which is going to be wonderful in ramping here. Surprisingly, a black source is actually decent. I'm happy to keep that, given what we have in our hand. Gilded Goose, sadly we can't kill that in our next turn, but... do we actually want to go for the Cobra? Considering we have the Languish, I'm actually going to hold off a little bit. Casualties, we can't play that, sadly. It's a lot of black. Well, it's two black pips, but we don't have 2 black pips. Unless we have the Lotus Cobra, so somewhat ironic, but... mana abilities get +2/+2. Okay, this is fine. It's all part of my master plan. So next turn, if they go for Ragga Dragga, let's go for Thoughtseize. See what we're dealing with. Change the target. Ooh, Marwyn's Kindred. Let's get rid of that. That is pretty scary. But we don't have the double black. I think we're going to have to go for the Cobra. We're going to top deck a black source now, aren't we? So if they go for the Ragga Dragga, we're going to have to use Feed the Swarm on it. Unless we do some weird thing with a Fatal Push. But okay. Counters. Interesting. Counters. What cares about counters with this? Or is it just the fact it taps for mana, I think, isn't it? If we just play Languish, do we win? I think we just win, don't we? Oh, that feels really mean. 4 for 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gwenna. Okay. So we want to kill that as well, because that lets them play the Ragga Dragga. We're basically keeping them off Ragga Dragga as long as possible. Jeez. Brutality. All that with only 1 black source out, by the way. So we didn't actually wait to... So if we didn't play the Lotus Cobra, we never would have been able to do that. I guess sometimes sacrificing 1 piece is good enough to get their king. Let's go. Versus Toad Rider. I have this in real life. It's a pretty good enchantment sort of tribal build. Very Seer. That's a bit weird. Not gonna lie, that's thrown me off now. I don't see the synergy myself, but maybe there's something I'm missing here. Is it just an aggro build, perhaps? Who knows? We shall have to find out. Fairy Wizard. This is whenever you play an enchantment, you get a frog. Okay, and they're not doing anything else. Weird. That is weird, right? Ghost Lantern. Order of Midnight. I think we're just going to leave up the Brazen Borrower here. Why didn't they attack? Chaos is the truest form of power, isn't it? I have no power over Chaos. So now we're just going to return this. And pretty much waste their turn, but that's fine. Happens to the best of us. Now he's attacking. Weird. We have another blue here, so we can flash in the Brazen Borrower. And I feel like there's not much else I can really do. Oh well. Yeah, we'll swing back for one, get that revenge hit in. I might actually block the fairy. I don't know. Trading a 3-1 for a 1-1 feels a bit wrong. But we do have the Order of Midnight to get it back, which means we get the other side of the spell back too. Could be good. Then we can bounce the Tatanari again, can't we? We're just kind of looping it over and over again. Chancellor of Tales. Cast adventure spell. You may copy it. Ooh. Now that is, I like. Seems really powerful for an uncommon, isn't it? Like, it's really tight on the mechanic, but the effect of doubling is not to be understated. Also, the artwork is really cool. Do they have any enchantments? We've only seen 2 spells, and neither of them are enchantments. A lot of nice things we can do. Copying it. So we can return 2 creatures back. Junji. Not an enchantment. Again. I am a bit confused. I'm very confused. Okay. I guess we'll get back the Brazen Borrower then. Sadly, there's nothing to copy, so 3, 4. Do we have some kind of crazy loop here? Because we've got 2 cards that copy, returning cards back to our hand. Is this a convoluted loop? We shall see. Why is Junji in the deck? Is this just like a random bunch of cards, maybe? Cast. It's a cast trigger. I'm actually going to take the 5. Because they can just recast it anyway. So it feels like a waste to just bounce it here. Better to bounce and end the turn. What is this deck? We bounce that. This gets copied. We'll try and bounce this. Is this like a... Did somebody just dare this guy to make a deck with like a random card generator or something? Return a spell to turn. Oh my goodness, we have got such trolly cards in our hand. We've got like some weird accidental loops going on here. Love it. Love it. Rex Sage. Do we want to Rex Sage that? Maybe. I've not seen any other enchantments. So in their turn, if they play the Junji, we're going to just return it to its owner's hand. And not copy, because if we copy, the actual real spell will fizzle because there's no any targets. Oh, but they play that first. We don't want to do that because they can just replay it. Ooh, but then also now they're going to get... Target creature gets +1 or minus. Oh, that feels unfortunate, but we can just get it back. We can just bring it back with the Ghost Lantern, which is then copied. That's kind of funny, isn't it? There's only 1 creature in there. So I think we're going to wait a bit longer. That'll grasp. Nice. Boom, boom, boom. So when they use Life of Toshiro Iwazari, this is a freaking strong card, right? 2 mana enchantment. Kill 2 things. But anyway, yeah, as I said, we can just return it back. But for now, let's kill this. We're just going to kill him with flyers. We've got 7 flying. Do you reckon they're going to kill the Borrower or the Reclamation Sage? I think the Borrower's doomed to die here. What? I don't know what this... I feel like I'm playing a new player, unfortunately. I'm really sorry. Using the minus would be more effective than getting 2, because you're going to lose 3 if this hits you, which is 1 more than the 2 you gained. Yeah, that's just... Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Junji... Return it to the hand. Copy it. Don't need to. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so now they... That's such a weird thing to do. It's going to flip. Okay, so we'll swing in with... Do you know what? Let's just swing in with everything. Because no matter... Basically, whatever they kill, we can get back. That's fine. Down to 5. Get back 2 things. Copy it, yes please. Lovely job. And for the Rex Sage again. So, do we care about this? I think I care more about having a flyer. Because, if they, so let's say they play the Junji, right? Then we've got 1 blocker, and we have 3 flyers. And also, the Elspeth's Nightmare can also deal with the Memory to Shiro. Oh, they're going to kill it again. And they've just spent the black mana that they would have spent on the Junji anyway. So I think they realised as soon as they did that was the end. But yeah, I think that was a very peculiar deck. And maybe there is something here that I'm not seeing. It's a very low curve. It's like 1 drop, 0 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop. 5 drop though, that breaks the mold. Also, that's not an enchantment, and they've only played 1 here. If you see this video, Iron Man, I'd like to know what the deck is, but yeah, a bit strange, Ordinarily, this would be a really terrible hand, but it's just got some removal in it, and I think we need to keep it, to be honest. We've got 1 piece of removal. Technically, this is removal, 2, and a bounce. Let's find that black source now so we can do it in turn 2 if we do need to. Or we could even go just for a flyer, just smack them in the face. And as you know, smacking people in the face is one of the many ways to win Magic the Gathering. Even if she looks as beautiful as Rowan, Scion of War, who's illustrated by Magali Villeneuve, who's a wonderful artist, who I follow on Twitter. She's the lead, I think she's one of the lead artists who works for Wizards, and she, yeah, lead artist. So she comes up with a lot of the core design concepts, which then the artist underneath her will follow the structure of. Really awesome. I feel as though John Avon is probably in that situation for the land base. Tell me below who your favourite Magic artist is. Magali is definitely one of mine. She's really cool. Raymond Swanman as well, who did the famous Wormquill engine. He's very good as well. Let's go for Gumdrop Poisoner. I like the fact they use a kill spell there, because it means that it's a card out of their hand, and I'm not really that bothered about 2/2, to be perfectly honest. We almost certainly want to kill Rowan when she's deployed. So, when will she deploy? That's the question. Or when will he or they deploy it, sorry. Necropotence, wonderful, they're going to draw lots of cards now. This is one of the most powerful cards in the history of Magic the Gathering, and I didn't even realise it's legal in Historic Brawl, but there you go. Let's skip the draw step, but whenever they just discard a card, exile that card from the graveyard, and they can draw, pay 1 life, exile the top of your library, put that card into your hand at the beginning of your next end step. Sorry, that was a lot of words, I realise. Basically, every turn you can Grizzlebrand, and if you don't know what Grizzlebrand is, it's a huge creature that has lifelink, and you can pay 7 mana to draw 7 cards, and it's banned in Commander. But this isn't, somehow. This is not banned. But, there you go. I guess they're losing life, right? But it works so well with Rowan. In fact, I'd go as far to say that that is actually freaking broken with Rowan. Well, they will be losing a lot of life, I suppose. They're already on 17, but they have a full hand each time. Yikes. That is horrible, isn't it? Well, if we can get to Virtue of Persistence, we might have a chance, but I'm not really feeling this one. Not with the One Ring and Necropotence up, but we do kill one here, which is good. But that basically, essentially says, pay 4, draw 4. That's what happened with Necropotence. No, they skip the draw step. So it's kind of like pay 4, draw 2, if you think about it in a strange way. Bergie, oh no. The Storm build? Mindstone, so they have 2 more mana after this. She needs to die as well. Swift boots. Okay, we are not going to be able to kill her now, because she's got the boots. This is what you call not good. Oh, they're going to draw instead. I actually did not expect that. I did not expect them to not equip her. So, I'm going to kill her right now. Wow, that is a silly play to not protect her, I think. And now we have Castle Loch Thwain. I feel very confident about this. I actually really thought they had a good chance. But now I'm starting to not be so sure. Especially with the lifelink on this, which I completely forgot this had. Here comes Rowan. They're going to try and give her haste, but in response we're going to kill the poop out of her. And we even have a backup bounce spell if this doesn't resolve for any reason whatsoever. They're going to draw a card in response, so I'm not sure what for red-black could protect her. Nothing, apparently. And now they have an abundance of cards, but not really much presence, really. Tamiya is safekeeping. 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, before I deploy my big things, I need to... 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh, I feel like they're just going to go absolutely nuts. Right, let's do this. I think we have to establish some presence here. Fabled Passage every single turn is kind of sick, though, I have to say. Can they win in their turn? I don't know. Their spells are... So what creature was this? Order of Midnight. No, I want to leave up the Tamiyo safekeeping. And we actually have the bounce spell as well. We're in a fantastic situation now. So they lost 2. So the spells will be 2 less if they give her own, but she's 5 mana. So is it even worth it at this point? Always an intense game, because she's pseudo-combo. And they're not going to like this. They try and give it haste, so we're going to bounce it again. And they don't have hexproof in those colours. Pretty sure, 99% sure, and this could just win us the game by bouncing it here. They can't even recast her, because she's 3 mana. From the hand. Bouncy, bouncy. We now can't protect our Muldrotha, which is the only downside, but... And without anything to stop us, do we win here? We have 9 power coming in hot. If they kill this... Oh, interesting. Okay, the game goes on. The game goes on, people. Don't forget, we can just redeploy this from the graveyard. Land. Okay, I guess we go for the land in the graveyard again, because this is basically... It's free real estate. We had such powerful things to do. What else was in the graveyard there? Binding every 3 turns. Oh my goodness. This was a freaking awesomely fun game. It just shows how strong Muldrotha is in the long game. So yes, this deck idea was submitted to me by Angsty from the Discord. So thank you very much for the suggestion. Let's take a look at the adventures that we've put in the deck. So yeah, there's actually so many adventures in this deck that you can definitely put them all in, but it's a bit difficult to try and harness what you really should leave in. I'd say there's a few key adventures or adventure-related cards that are an absolute definite must. So Edgewall Innkeeper lets you draw cards whenever you play an adventure creature. So this is definitely a must. We have Lucky Clover, which lets you copy adventure, instants, and sorceries. Again, that's definitely a must. We also have the Storyteller Pixie. Draw a card when you cast adventures. This is basically a Lucky Clover built into a creature. And we also have the Chancellor of... the Chancellor of Tales is the Lucky Clover build. This is the copy one. The Storyteller Pixie is actually... It's just super good. It's like Edgewalling Keeper, but it has wings and it's just 3 times as big. So those are the definitely good ones. I'm actually surprised the synergy this all has with Muldrotha. So Muldrotha cares about putting stuff into your graveyard, and there's a lot of cards in this pool that actually just care about that. We have the Merfolk Secret Keeper, so you can move yourself for 4. That's good. The Ghost Lantern can get stuff out of your graveyard. That's also really good. We have this one, which mills 4, then puts a spell into your hand. The Altar of Baal gets stuff out of your graveyard. Cruel Somnophage mills a player for 4. So yeah, you get the point. There's actually a lot of synergy. And as long as you keep having fun with the cards you put in, there's nothing wrong with whatever you choose. As for the rest of the deck, it's just got loads of good green ramp. All the stuff you would expect to see. Elves, Goose, Mystic, Into the North, Lotus Cobra, and Arcane Signet. They're all necessary to ramp you into the top end. And yeah, all the good removal spells you'd expect to see as well. These colours: Casualties of War, Death Sprout, Binding the Old Gods, and a Copy Language to just clean the field. It's just really fun deck, and I really appreciate this being suggested to me because I didn't think it was going to work. And I was totally proven wrong because a lot of the time meme decks are they're just lols, right? They're just whatever. But this actually stood up pretty well. I think the win rate was maybe 55 to 60%, which is kind of decent. It's okay. You'll definitely have fun with it. You can definitely win. You just have to be clever in the cards you select. The deck list will be in the description below. If you'd like to have your chance of an idea of a video to be made or a particular command to be made, join the Patreon. Links in the description below. And if you become an adult dragon, I'll make a custom video for you. So that's pretty cool. Or if you fancy just donating a one-off amount, you can do that via Ko-fi.com, which is a pretty cool website where you can donate any amount of money. And it's just nice to support the channel. Really appreciate everyone who has supported so far. And also you get shout-outs in the videos as well if you donate to the channel. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.